Hello, I'm Oscar for Emotion Systems, and this is just a quick video outlining how Examine works. So Engine has two main types of Examine workflow. The original Examine workflow does a metadata analysis only and creates a PDF report with summary information, or an XML report with more detailed information. No new file is created, and you can create an Examine workflow in the Examines tab. There are two things that we use when we do an Examine workflow. That is channel layout detection and silent channel detection. So silent channel detection, as you would expect, looks at the audio levels in all channels and reports on those channels that are silent. Channel layout detection analyzes all the channels in the media file. Firstly, it detects any channels containing Dolby encoded audio, and then it works through all the remaining channels looking for a SEMP ordered 5.1, stereo pairs, individual monos. For a stereo track, Engine also indicates which ones are likely to be a full mix and which are likely to be mix and effects. So how do we create an Examine workflow? With the settings area open, select the Examines tab and then click New button, so it's just like a normal workflow. Note that as Examine is an optional module, you may not have this function available. In the dialog that opens, we will start, like any other workflow, by entering a name, and if desired, also add a description. Then click the Setup button. As my version of Engine has both silent channel detection and channel layout detection enabled, we can see them here. However, depending on the detection features that are included in your license, you may not be able to see both options. When Detect Silent Channels is enabled, the dialog expands with some more options. There are two options here and I'll explain both. Percentage of the file to analyze. So by default, detection only takes place over 30% of the content duration. Engine selects small areas to analyze, spread throughout the total duration of the file. To be clear though, having percentage of file to analyze set to 30% does not mean only the first 30% of the file is analyzed. Generally, this is sufficiently long enough, as if 30% of the channel is silent, the rest is likely to be. However, it is important to be certain, so the proportion of content being analyzed can be increased. I have in the past increased the percentage of content to be analysed because I was analysing short form content, which was only around 20 seconds long. In this case, it was appropriate to increase the percentage. However, if you're analysing a feature-length film, then 30% is usually fine. The silent channel detection function can also check for a region of tone at the very start of the file, and only do a silence check after this region of tone. Some files have a standard bars and tone header section, so it is important that Engine does not report a non-silent channel just because of the tone. So settings for the tone detector are available in the advanced menu within the main Engine configurator window. Another parameter that might be important with silent channel detection is the ability to filter out background noise, perhaps from an analog source. To access this control, what we do is click the settings button, which expands this dialog. Using the slider on the right, you can now set the level that will be used for the silent channel detection. Anyway, so that covers silent channel detection. Now we're going to cover how you create an Examine workflow with channel layout detection. As channel layout detection and silent channel detection are related functions, some of the controls in the dialog are shared. If you only enable channel layout detection, the initial dialog looks like this. As with silent channel detection, you have the same options for the amount of the file's duration to examine, and to exclude areas of bars and tone from the analysis. Where files may contain a 5.1 in addition to a stereo and a mono, you should select the Detect 5.1 control. If there is no possibility of a 5.1 being in your file, then you can leave this non-selected for faster processing. Note that the 5.1 detection makes the following assumptions. Number 1, the 6 channels are adjacent and start from odd-numbered channels. And secondly, and very importantly, surround channels are in the SEMP order, which in a 6-channel 5.1 file is left and right in channels 1 and 2, center channel in channel 3, low frequency effects in channel 4, and left surround and right surround in channels 5 and 6. Additional settings are available by clicking the settings button, and in the enlarged dialog there are tabs for stereo detection settings and also 5.1 detection settings. Whilst there are a number of sliders and parameters on both pages, we recommend leaving these at the default settings initially. However, on the Detect Stereo page, you should enable the Detect Synthesize Stereo if required. This works on the difference in characteristics of the stereo that contains dialogue to the stereo that does not contain dialogue. And it also gives a very good indication as to whether the stereo is full mix or mix and effects. Similarly, on the 5.1 page, consider selecting the Scan for Full Mix LFE control. This checks if there is an LFE channel that is derived from the other 5 channels. Ultimately, all of the settings need to be adjusted to give you the most accurate results possible for your own media. We suggest testing with 50 or so representative files and checking the results. For example, with poorer accuracy, upload these files to the support team here at Emotion and we'll analyze them and work with you to optimize these settings. Well, I hope this has been useful. If you'd like to try out Examine in Engine, please feel free to follow this link and it will take you to an eval version of Engine which will have Examine enabled. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact me and my email is at the bottom of the screen now. Thank you.